the lines of communication need to be open, and we need to continue discussing this, obviously. You know, I do have some specifics that I think we need to get out of the way before we get to those other things. You know, the one comment that concerned me was, you know, the criteria judging the chief. You know, he took it pretty hard in the paper, saying that he was unprepared to be chief. And after having the opportunity to work with him, I feel pretty confident about his abilities. And you know, I know he doesn't have the experience, and sometimes people with experience don't make good chiefs. So I'm curious, could you give me some background or what your criteria was for judging that?
I think the issue is really this. It's very, very difficult to take a person from a captain's position and move them into a fire chief's position without having a lot of administrative experience. And because of the revolving door that you've had in that office, there has been little to any mentorship to any of the subordinate personnel at all ranks below the chief. My comments had nothing to do with the individual personally, and I would wholeheartedly agree with you, since we have worked with him over the past couple times when the error came in regards to the days off. We had an opportunity to meet with him today. I'm feeling more confident, and so I think the issue really was more that you've taken a very young, good individual and you've put him in a position, and I don't want to see him fail. And I think that would be the worst thing for this organization, is to see him fail. And I'm not recommending it, and we didn't recommend in any way, shape, or form that he should not be chief. But supplement him for a time period and help him in the areas he doesn't know what he doesn't know. Especially in fiscally challenging times as this. It's difficult enough to understand a fire department budget, let alone now figure it out when you're getting reduced personnel and things of that nature. So the criteria is more of, is he experienced enough, and please put the resources in place to make him successful.
What did you mean by he's working alone? That he needs somebody
you know, I'm going to be kind
from an information standpoint?
I think from an information standpoint, what happens with a lot of fire departments, and Elyria is not unique in this nature, is something that I personally call inbreeding. And that is, we start from Elyria as a firefighter, we work ourselves up through the ranks, and the only way we know is the Elyria way. And that's not to say the Elyria way is wrong, but there are other ways out there that if you could bring somebody in who has had that experience to help mentor him and to bring other ways of doing things. Even today, just having the conversation with Dr. Tim McGrath in regards to how to use the ladder. There's different perspectives. Doesn't mean each one's right, but bring those different perspectives together and find out how other successful fire departments are achieving it. So that's more of the help that I'm talking about.
Okay, and then
anyone? Yes, Mr. Tanner.
Yes, myself, and these are my opinions. Myself, the idea of the chief and your idea from the day one, I read the report that needed a mentor or needed a assistant safety service director watching them. I don't think that. I don't buy that. I don't see where you come off with that even. We're in a financial problem here, and you're adding more expense to us. But anyway, aside from that, my belief also is who knows that fire department and our fire department, our men, better than somebody that's been with them for years. And I believe in the idea in fire and police mainly to promote within. Okay, so I'm done with that. And the chief, as far as I'm concerned, what he needs, what I was hoping you'd say in there, is he needs to be left to be a chief and do the job of the chief. Okay? I think that's one of the biggest problems we're having. If he could be chief and deal with his men, I think even negotiations would go smoother and everything else in regards to him involved, him or whoever the chief would be, you know. But again, I actually expected you to say, come out with that, because there's so much other things he's questioned on, he's called in on. He's, you know, personally, I think any of our chiefs in the last, since the one before last, they spend more time at City Hall than they do at the police, the fire station, or with their men. And that's a problem. I don't see where that should be. Okay? Another comment I have in regards to not only the contracts, but and the chief. is in regards to, slipped my mind there for a while, but the chief being left to be the chief, the contracts we negotiate, and that's what the men live by, and they fight for, and they have a right to. It was agreed to, whether it was this mayor or past mayor, and there's what we have to live with. In negotiations, you surely want to try to change that and get that things changed and cooperated, and then maybe get this together where we can they can all work better together. And but right now with a contract, you know, that's got to be dealt with, and you know that, and definitely your wife in regards to the fact of her negotiating in the past. And this here has to be worked out with both sides, like you say, working together. We all agree to that. Council as well should be working together with this stuff and keeping ourselves in touch with what's going on and what we can live with and what you can't live with. And I'll let it go at that right now. But again, the chief, I think let him be chief, give him a chance to do what he feels with his men and him have worked out. And I think we're going to find a smoother, better running